Jebediah is practicing his swimming skills again because he needs to make some extra money for a space program because they have no money and can't launch anything. And we are going to fix that today, and it's not going to involve swimming actually. So as you can see, we're unable to launch our moon-bound spacecraft, and the reason is because the launch pad can't support enough tons. It only supports 18 tons. So that means we have to upgrade it, and to upgrade it we need money, and guess what? We have no money. So we're just time accelerating here, and we're gonna try launching to that one place that we missed out on last time. We're gonna try to harvest the funds there with the most cheapo space rocket ever, just made completely out of solid rocket boosters except for the upper stage. So basically we're taking a little bit of a different approach to this one because I want to see if I can get down from orbit instead of doing a suborbital thing like we did last time. We're still gonna do suborbitals, but it was just I wanted to get some extra science from orbit also. So here we are, the upper stage is still firing. Getting up into space here, almost out of the atmosphere. And it's looking pretty good. We have a little bit of fuel left. Probably enough to get into orbit once the thrust to weight ratio starts improving. And just moving our periaps up. That's the opposite of the apoaps. And we still don't have maneuver nodes because we didn't upgrade our tracking station or whatever. But that's going to be coming later. Because I am confident that I can get to the moon and orbit it and come back without maneuver nodes. So maybe after we land on the moon we'll upgrade the tracking station so we can get maneuver nodes, but right now the launch pad is the priority because we can't get anywhere out of orbit without a better launch pad. So basically, to get all this money, I've accepted 3 contracts. This is the first one. This is the one we were trying to do last episode. We're trying to land there at that point and survey it. But we also have 2 other points that we have to do, and to upgrade the launch pad, we need to do those first, otherwise we won't have enough money. So basically, we're gonna grind it out this episode so we can get that better launch pad, and then hopefully, we'll have enough time to take the first trip to the moon. As you can see, we're on course here, at least so far. Below 60,000 meters, we're trying to skim through the atmosphere to get there. I'm feeling like we might come in a little low, so I'm going to make some adjustments. And there we go. And I'm pretty confident that we're going to make it now. So, just time accelerating through here. And making our way, and bam. Oh, not bam. Wonder what that is. Oh, there we go, bam. Haha, second time. So, we made about 10 grand on that trip, but we need 50 something grand to upgrade our launch pad. And we're going to need some left over because of course you need to launch the actual spacecraft after that. So we're going off to Bill's Spirit and Manly Point, hoping to harvest some nice funds to run our space program. So with that extra science that we had from that last contract, I was able to buy wings. So I put some wings on there to make it better for suborbital trajectories, because we're going to try to go suborbital this time, but we're just going to go a little bit higher than last episode. We're going to try to make it work so that we don't have to go all the way into orbit. So we're getting up here, we're on course so far. Going off to Bill's Spirit first because that's the hard one, I want to get it out of the way. And trying to take into consideration the rotation of Kerbin as we're floating through here. And we look to be going a little bit high. I wanted to go a little bit lower because yeah, it's falling out under me. So now I gotta make a course correction. It's a good thing I have all this fuel so I can do this. But as you can see, we're burning to change our inclination. And well, we're out of fuel. But yes, we are close enough, and we get the contract. So, made some money, and on to the next one. This is the same type of spacecraft. As you can see, it's the exact same one. Solid rocket booster after solid rocket booster, and then a liquid engine. And this one should be easier to get to. It's around the first point, but we're gonna try to do the same idea as I had in the first episode when we completely missed it, but we're just not gonna go as low, and I feel like this is gonna be the best suborbital surveillance one that I've had yet. And the reason I'm going so low is because you have to be below 18,000 meters, not above it like we usually do. So I actually overshoot a little bit, so you see my skills aren't really up to par here, but we are reassigning our course here. This is extremely inefficient, but we have all the fuel in the world right now because this is like a 20-kilometer or something hop just over here. And hopefully we're close enough. And oh, I got a call there, but we still end up getting the contract though because here we are and done. Okay, so thankfully this episode we have recovered from bankruptcy, and see, we just bought a new launch pad, and we still have 42,000 funds left over from all that surveillance. So that means that we can launch this beauty of a spacecraft with count 'em, 7 rocket boosters powering the first stage. Not extremely efficient. I would have liked to use liquid engines, but solid rocket boosters are just so much cheaper, and we only have to burn straight up anyway until we have to do the gravity turn. But gravity turn happens at 15,000 feet anyway, so yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal. So yeah, we got to that grinding, and finally we're getting a spacecraft which is moon bound. This one is destined to go to the moon. I've packed enough fuel inside of it for it to be efficient enough to get there. But first we need to get in orbit, of course. So we're just doing that right now, time accelerating through. And the little engine is going, small but powerful. And we are in orbit. Okay. Now we just need to finish our orbit a little bit, and then we're gonna plan at what point we're gonna burn to get to the moon. And right now we are in line with it, but we don't want to be like that. We want to be a little bit skewed so that we can get our apoapsis a little bit to the left of the moon, because the moon does have travel time. It would be a lot easier to do with maneuver nodes, but I feel like I can just do it without it. So here we go. Burning very slowly. So yeah, I am going to time accelerate because this was a painfully slow burn. It was about 40 seconds long or so. And there we go. Apoapsis is starting to go up slowly but surely. And I'm feeling like this might be a good estimate. So we're just going to time accelerate and find that out. And so here we are journeying through space. 4 days or so are packed into this in real life, but it's just under a day, I think, in Kerbal time. And we're coming up close on the moon here, and yes, well, not the best orbit, but it's still, well, not an orbit, a flyby, but it's not the best flyby. But it's doable. So we're just going to get here to the periapsis so that we can slow ourselves down into orbit so we can get some extra funds from the moon contract I accepted. And right about here, so we're going to start burning backwards, bringing ourselves closer to the moon. And through this, we should get about 15,000 funds. And, well, we can get some science too, actually, because we're at the moon and the moon has science. And yes, we have a success, orbiting the moon for the first time in the Kerbal timeline. And we're getting some serious reputation there because they love the moon. They just thought it was a piece of cheese in the sky before. But now they know it's actually a large rocky mass that they have to orbit and land on soon. So hopefully in a future episode, we may actually take a lander to that thing and become the first Kerbals to land on that surface. For right now, we just did some science, and we're waiting for our return window. We want to get to the inner part of the orbit so that we can burn to the right, so we can get a retrograde burn in comparison to Kerbin. So we're just going to burn prograde right here, and we're going to exit the moon sphere of influence, and this should be enough. I mean, I have no maneuver nodes. It would just be so much easier if I had maneuver nodes, but can't have them right now. So far in 0.90, I'm starting to feel the constraints of upgrading everything. It's almost like a Clash of Clans kind of upgrade. Wait time. But we are going to have more funds after this, and we might be able to upgrade something else. Not going to promise anything, but we might be able to upgrade something. And Jebediah is coming out here. He's going to be the first brave Kerbal to EVA out in the middle of nowhere between the moon and Kerbin to collect the mystery goo signs, because we don't have to deal with them after we crash land it like we always do. So just removing the data here, and we're going to place it safely inside of the capsule. He's having a little bit of difficulties getting back into his capsule, or it just might be my bad piloting skills. But we're here. We succeeded. We got back into the door. No random floating space Kerbals today, my friends. And we're actually coming down near the space center. I did not expect that, actually. That was not planned out, but we're here anyway. And I'm trying to get my orbit close enough so that the wind can, or the atmosphere can slow me down so I can go near the Kerbal Space Center. But it's fine. We can just land in the ocean. And Jebediah realizes that he's only 8 kilometers away from glory, from coming home for the first ever moon trip and back. And look at him, he's just so excited. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for watching my video. This was a very fun episode. I really enjoyed Kerbal Space Program. We actually did something that was a big step today, going to the moon and back, and we'll be back to you next week, or maybe this week, hopefully. And this is PVM Vertigo. Peace out.